All fathers want to make sure their children's wishes are fulfilled. However, there are times when a father is left in a unique circumstance due to such requests. On behalf of his 11-year-old son, Deacon, Kieran Green, the proud captain of Grimsby Town, found himself outside a gloomy Manchester United dressing room waiting to speak to Bruno Fernandes, who just moments before had been rocking on his haunches in astonishment. "Dad, can you get me Bruno's shirt?" was all he had said to me prior to the game. "What could I do then?" Green asks, as we discuss the wild August night that reminded you of the amazing potential of sport. A 2-2 draw with one of the biggest teams in the world, followed by a 12-11 victory on penalties at Grimsby's training enclave. Deacon requested the garment, even though I had never truly switched shirts with anyone before. What do you know? Bruno was a genius. My friend who attends Newport informed me that Bruno would surprise me after they played United in the FA Cup a few years ago. If you've only seen him on television, you might think that he's a little irritable or grouchy, but that couldn't be further from the reality. He's a really kind guy. He was giving me his shirt and wished us luck after we had just eliminated them from the cup. Like everyone else, Grimsby will have the support of all neutrals as they take on Brentford tonight in an attempt to make it to the League Cup quarter-finals for the first time in 1985 when they defeated eventual league champions Everton at Goodison Park. Naturally, the chances are against them, but this is a tale of optimism, revitalization, and chasing one's dreams. Because this proud club's enormous accomplishment seemed to be forgotten in the aftermath of the second-round match, when Grimsby won the kind of exciting penalty shootout that captivates even non-football fans. What was it like for his counterpart David Artell to travel? Ruben Amorim's journey was one thing. At first, it was a tornado. Artell and his family reside in Chester, and he commutes across the Pennines for business most days. He drives 40,000 miles a year for scouting and commuting, and after the drive back that night, he arrived home at 3 a.m. His body was so pumped with adrenaline that he didn't sleep until 4:15 a.m. At 7 a.m., he was up once more, his phone ringing non-stop with congrats. By 9 in the morning, he had completed a round of interviews, begun some analysis, and his thoughts had turned to the game against Bristol Rovers that weekend. You know what, though? Artell, the type of man who makes you feel better after the chat, says, "I watched the game back 3 weeks later, as a fan, with no distractions. Hang on, we've accomplished something here. We were actually decent," I told myself at that moment. "A handful of older men I met have been fans for 50 or 60 years. That was the best they had ever seen," they informed me. They said it was different from the 1984 match at Everton, where Grimsby prevailed 1-0. "Yes, it was wonderful, and I was thrilled, but hasn't it already been wrapped around someone's haddock and chips? It's just old news." Aspiring and forward-thinking, Artell hopes the football team can play a key role in the area's revitalization. The historic Cleethorpes beachfront is now being renovated and become a source of pride for the local population. He is undoubtedly fulfilling his end of the agreement. Grimsby was in a rut, worrying about a future that might include the National League when Artell, who played for Gibraltar 7 times, was hired 2 years ago. The terrain has now changed. Plans call for them to relocate to a new training facility in 2 years, and the team has the invaluable element of unity because the club purchased 3 houses on the waterfront where 4 of their players reside. Artell, who suggests Ernie Beckett's on Market Street for haddock and chips, says, "The owners, Andrew Pettit and Jason Stockwood, have allowed me and the chief executive, Polly Bancroft, to implement things. We have a group of players who want to improve. You learn things when you come into work knowing that you won't be yelled at. The rondo could start with a question like, 'How many calories does a sumo wrestler eat?' or something completely unrelated. In essence, we provide a question, and the one who correctly answers it receives the ball and begins the exercise. It just promotes a culture of improvement and a desire to become great football players. Before you know it, they are remaining here till late in the afternoon because of the conditions. You will succeed if you approach your work with a smile. This is why we are investing in the players. It's paying off. Although Grimsby's loss 3-2 to Artell's former team Crewe on Saturday was a setback, a promotion push is possible, and their elimination of United and Sheffield Wednesday was not a coincidence. Grimsby embodies everything that is admirable about English football, and although Artell isn't eager to boast about their recent triumph, his captain offers a glimpse inside the team's pre-game conversation that led to a shootout that lasted so long that it delayed the news at 10 o'clock. Green, who joined Grimsby after stints at Halifax, York, and Blyth Spartans, says, "The gaffer came onto the pitch, and straight away he settled everyone down. Much of the strain was relieved when he said, 'You have won already. This is a night that will be remembered forever.' At the time, it was the right thing to do, and the boys needed it. If you weren't rooting for Manchester United that evening, I think everyone was a Grimsby Town supporter. Many people my age were raised with the belief that you hated United if you didn't support them. It was something amazing, and even now I'm not sure it has fully registered. A little has changed. The good news is that everyone is interested in what we are doing, even though I'm receiving a ton of ticket requests. We play football for this reason. These are the games you want to play." On Tuesday, with the stadium fully packed and anticipation, will be another Tuesday. Is it possible for lightning to strike twice? Since Brentford won't be going into an ambush blindfolded, they will be even more formidable opponents than United in many aspects. But we only need to win by a narrow margin because this is a two-horse race, Artell argues. "I will shake Keith Andrews' hand and show the same humility I showed Ruben Amorim if we lose. But what time is it? This weekend, Brentford will play Ebbsfleet in the FA Cup. It's insane. Quite fantastic, in fact."